They were too fast, too loud, or just too dangerous. These aren't ordinary supercars. They were built to break rules, but some broke laws instead. Today, we're counting down 5 supercars that were banned from public roads. And trust me, number 1 will leave your jaw on the floor.
The Lamborghini Diablo is already a beast. But when German tuner Strosek took over, they created a version so aggressive, it scared authorities. With extreme body mods, dangerous blind spots, and aerodynamic tweaks that made it unpredictable at high speeds, it was eventually banned in several countries, including parts of Europe. But Strosek didn't just give the Diablo a visual upgrade. They rewrote its DNA. They stripped away the factory spoiler and replaced it with a custom aero ring that changed how the car handled at high speeds. The headlights? Swapped out for smaller dual-beam units that looked cool, but didn't exactly impress safety regulators. And those sleek door-mounted mirrors? They looked futuristic, but left drivers with massive blind spots. As a result, this car turned into a machine that was dangerously fast and borderline unpredictable. It wasn't just Europe that took notice. US authorities flat out banned it because it failed safety inspections. The lighting, the mirrors, the handling, it just didn't meet the standards. Some experts even claimed it was too powerful for the average driver. So while it turned heads at car shows, on public roads, it was just too wild to be legal. No traction control, no airbags, no ABS. The TVR Sagaris was basically a street-legal race car until it wasn't. TVR believed that driving should be raw, but governments disagreed. Its lack of safety tech led to bans in the US, where regulations demand crash test data and modern driver aids. But the Sagaris didn't just lack safety features. It lacked approval. TVR never submitted it for crash testing, a requirement for US certification. Without airbags, ABS, or emissions compliance, it couldn't meet federal standards. And with no dealer network or service infrastructure in the States, there was no path forward. The result? A car too raw for regulation, too wild for the road. In the US, it was banned outright. In Europe, it faced restrictions in countries adhering to stringent safety guidelines. The Sagaris remains a legend, a symbol of unfiltered performance and the risks that come with it. This was the most advanced car of its era, faster than the Ferrari F50 and packed with tech years ahead of its time. But the US government said no. Why? Porsche refused to crash test the 959 for American approval, so despite being street legal in Europe, it was banned from US roads for years. But the story doesn't end there. Porsche's decision not to submit the 959 for US crash testing wasn't just about regulations, it was about economics. Each 959 cost Porsche more to build than it sold for, leading to significant financial losses. Sacrificing additional units for crash tests would have only deepened those losses. Yet, the allure of the 959 was undeniable. Enthusiasts like Bill Gates faced challenges importing the car into the US, with some vehicles languishing in customs for years. It wasn't until the introduction of the show or display law in 1999 that limited numbers of 959s could legally grace American roads. Today, the Porsche 959 stands as a testament to innovation ahead of its time, a supercar that, while once banned, paved the way for future automotive advancements. You've seen it in Fast and Furious. You've heard the turbo whistle. But did you know the R34 GT-R was banned in the US? Imported illegally, it lacked the emissions and safety certifications required by federal law. A few got in through loopholes, but most were seized and destroyed by customs. The Nissan R34 GT-R, with its advanced technology and performance, failed to meet the U.S. Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standards and Environmental Protection Agency regulations. Nissan never intended to sell the R34 in the U.S., so it wasn't designed to comply with these standards. In the early 2000s, a company named Motorex tried to legalize R34 imports by crash testing the R33 model and claiming the results applied to the R34. This led to a scandal when it was discovered that the R34 hadn't been properly tested. resulting in the shutdown of Motorex and the seizure of many imported vehicles. Despite these challenges, the allure of the R34 GT-R remained strong. Enthusiasts eagerly awaited the 25-year import rule, which exempts vehicles 25 years or older from certain regulations. As of January 2024, R34 manufactured in 1999 became eligible for legal importation into the U.S., allowing fans to finally own this iconic vehicle without legal hurdles. The R34 GT-R's journey from forbidden fruit to legal classic underscores the complexities of automotive regulations and the passion of car enthusiasts determined to navigate them. Only 349 of these were made, but its raw V12, race-style suspension, and lack of driver assists made the Ferrari F50 a street menace. In some countries, including parts of Asia and South America, the F50's emissions and road behavior led to restricted use or outright bans. Too fast for comfort, too loud for laws. But the truth is, the F50 was never meant to be tamed. Ferrari built it to bring Formula One technology to the streets, literally. Its engine was derived from a real F1 car. Some governments labeled it environmentally hostile. In places like Singapore and Brazil, the F50 was considered too disruptive for public roads. Even in more lenient regions, insurers were hesitant, calling it a liability on four wheels. And yet, that's what made it legendary. Drivers described it as unhinged. Reviewers said it felt like a barely restrained track car with plates. It punished mistakes and rewarded skill with pure, unfiltered adrenaline. For collectors today, it's a holy grail. Not just for its rarity, but because it represents the end of an era before electronics took over. The Ferrari F50 wasn't just banned. It was feared, misunderstood, and unforgettable. These cars were born to defy limits. But not every rule can be broken. From hidden imports to safety nightmares, these banned supercars prove one thing: when you build too close to the edge, don't be surprised when you get pulled back. Which car surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more crazy car stories, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more gearhead content.